It is our distinct pleasure to be here today, speaking amongst so many industry leaders and visionaries in economic reform. My name is Scott Burton. I am the president of Dolphin Digital Technologies. I'm one half of the founding executive team. Dolphin Digital Technologies is a small ICT consulting firm situated in Kitchener, Ontario in central Canada. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term ICT, in its simplest form, we design, develop, and support communication networks. In the last 2 years, with the advent of virtualization and cloud space development, our focus has narrowed to professional consulting services, helping companies define their business logic through technology. In saying this, it is not necessarily what we do that brings us before you today, but rather how we do it. We do business differently. Dolphin Digital Technologies was founded on two primary principles. One, we have the knowledge base of a caliber that people will pay to access it. And two, we have an opportunity to leverage that commodity not only as a source of financial gain, but we may also invoke social change as one of the identifiers of successful business. And what if the alignment of corporate development and social responsibility could work together, each fueling each other to greater success? It is this which we are here to share and debate with you today. I believe great business should come from the known. I grew up in Canada, one of the most prosperous countries on the planet, and I grew up in poverty. Knowing poverty firsthand is not necessarily the worst thing that may happen to an individual. It teaches some sound lessons. One learns how to do more with less. One learns money cannot buy love, but it can buy a great sports car, and many will love you in it, so learn to make some money. One learns life lessons, at times with harsh reality. I also learned in some capacity, I am my brother's keeper. Whether driven by social activism or economic budgeting, I know it is cheaper to invest in an individual as a proactive rather than reactive measure. Growing up, I was often the recipient of social service programs funded and designed to ensure a safety net was in place so the vulnerable and at risk would not fall between the cracks. At the risk of being offensive, I will tell you that social service programs do not work or are not as effective as necessary. I believe that social service infrastructure fails on its own. Not-for-profits have to go to for-profit business and government for funding and never attain a model of sustainability because of that dependence. In new business practices, there is a natural progression to a model where corporate business, corporate social responsibility, and social initiative need to merge for sustainability. And that's just what we did. In technology, the playing field never stops evolving. Many technical directives are considered antiquated within 2 years of release. 4 years ago, through a strategic planning measure, we became certain that our model was not sustainable. In answer to this, we began playing with virtualization and the ability to conduct business completely without a footprint. We projected ourselves to and through the networks we built, supporting, developing, and architecting without attendance on site. It was then that we stumbled onto a discovery that without foreknowledge would become much of what we are today. One of these remote sessions was conducted with a woman whom by all definitions is classified as quadriplegic. This was not new, as I had met her before at the client site. It was also not new that she came across as effective, intelligent, and very much abled. She had been my primary contact point for technology at this client's for almost 2 years. What was new this time was my perception. I saw her for the first time without seeing her. And what I saw was she was no longer disabled. Technology made my perceptions and her disability transparent at the same time. This was just the beginning of many social and technical revelations for us. Through this one experience, we developed the first virtual office, allowing us to hire and project intellectual property, our professional real estate, from persons with various disabilities. We developed a virtual testing platform, VITAS, for vetting and training of candidates, as well as the Dolphin Support Stream, our virtual support platform. We were in the cloud before the cloud existed. We did it all by hiring capable persons with disabilities. This is not all. We recognize that a small for-profit business could identify and support a social initiative. A small business like ours had it within our means to alleviate a problem that plagues our country. A person with a disability in Canada is generally deemed unemployable. This was only made worse by recessions and employment reduction. As an employer, we committed to a new hiring campaign. We would hire the candidate most qualified but least likely to get the position. Our greatest challenge in corporate business is not the grade of our service, nor the ability of our employees. It is the general perception and underinformed populace. You may wonder what it does for a business to take on such an initiative. We developed a business model in front of our colleagues, peers, our children, and friends, which is the embodiment of whom we are. As our brother's keeper, we have contributed to what we can through our conduct of day-to-day business to a cause that is in great need of assistance. In return for our dedication, we have been enlightened, elevated, and applauded. We have been recognized in local newspaper and magazine articles. We have been deferred to by provincial government. We have been awarded nationally, across our country, across our continent. Our Dolphin brand has been recognized now globally. We are also a company that has yet to spend a dime on marketing or advertising. It is with these measurements I will tell you that for-profit business with social alignment as a propelling force works. It works for the social service program, its mandates and accountabilities to funders and clients. It also works for the for-profit business who is in need of projection, dedication, and validation. At this point, I'd like to share a video with you prepared by our provincial government introducing our company and business model. Dolphin Digital Technologies designs, develops, and supports computer networks. We're the computer people. We address whatever the issues are. We only hire people who are capable of doing the job.
In order to hire the best person for the job, we have to be open to receive any individual. Their abilities are the only thing that we looked at.
They do not focus on the disability, they focus on the ability. The disability aspect is just how do we make it work for the person, but more importantly, it's how do we invoke those skills out of that person.
I have a neurological disease called narcolepsy. In my case, because I get tired very easily, the accommodation is that I choose the hours of the day when I'm best able to work. Scott and Jamie have really created a culture of mutual respect in this company.
Because of the disability I have, that there are people that feel like I'm not capable of operating within a professional environment. However, Jamie and Scott, by avoiding any stigma, they can see I can be capable of doing the work.
What we see in all of them is that they're committed to their everyday. I mean, every time they show up to work, they're committed to what they do. We've had no staff turnover. It's a negligible percentage of sick days. There is a 2.5 times return on investment for hiring a person with disabilities. Put aside the myths and look at the benefits.
It's not about being nice, it's about good business. And we truly believe that our employees made this company, and the success of our business is the success of our employees.
It's actually pretty emotional to watch because we truly believe what we're doing is what everybody should be experiencing. We are definitely committed that this is the time to change. I think that we have to consciously change how we think about and what we do as leaders. The fact is that we innovate on many levels. And in my opinion, we request a shift away from a focus on disability, difference, challenge, and move towards a focus on ability, potential, and experiencing all that someone has to offer. This is what's going to improve our social and economic factors. Today, you've come to hear about and address the issue of employment for people with disabilities. The business case for employing people with disabilities is actually quite simple. Employers need skilled workers. Persons with disabilities are largely an untapped resource. And today, in order to meet labor's growing market needs, we can access that untapped labor pool. And also, persons with disabilities are a very large and growing consumer market. The World Health Organization states that there are approximately 15% of people identified with having a disability in the world. That's 1.2 billion. 80% of those are living in developed countries. There is the opportunity. Businesses that employ people with disabilities can turn social alignment into an opportunity. If your target market share is based on the metric of social economic factors, to exclude even one demographic limits your space. To be inclusive means that you start with 100% potential. Excuse me, I just need the... merci. Businesses that employ people with disabilities can turn social alignment into a business opportunity. You can access new markets. The market size of individuals with disabilities around the world is approaching the market size of China. In North America, only 6% of businesses practice a strategy that speaks to identifying a space in that market. 6%. This is your opportunity to be first out the gate. I don't know the global metrics, but I would assume that it's comparable. This alone provides you an opportunity that few others are addressing. Companies that perform well in accessibility and inclusion are highly responsive to their customers and thus outperform peers in the revenue growth. There's also reduced costs with employing people with disabilities. In October 2011, the UK Royal National Institute of Blind People found that retaining employees with disabilities benefits employers 2.5 times the rate of reinvestment. Research demonstrates that the total cost of replacing an employee, counting direct and indirect costs, is within the range of 70% to 200% of their salary. Staff retention and hiring persons with disabilities is 72%. Saving millions of dollars each year in recruitment and training costs. 86% of people with disabilities rated average or better on attendance than their non-disabled colleagues. I will tell you a little bit about the Dolphin experience. In our company, we have received extreme loyalty from our employees. Employees who are committed to the success of all. We've had one sick day in 2 years. We had another gentleman who was very sick, and I actually had to make him not work. He was that sick, but that's how committed he is. 0% turnover. You can do the math and figure out that equation and how it applies to your business model. At Dolphin, we've received the Canadian Innovator of the Year Award from Canadian manufacturers and exporters. Innovation is the key to success, to come up with strategies and developments that no one else is doing. Employees with disabilities bring unique experiences and understanding that can transform and enhance products and business services. Available best practices indicate that there is value in involving persons with disabilities in product development and early development stages, testing, focus groups, as well as various decision-making levels. Incorporating personal experiences and insights of each group allows better understanding, and it meets the needs and contributes to making products and services accessible by design. Irvin Berger, Vice President of Technical Strategy and Innovation at IBM, says this: "Great things come from the synergies of our differences. We can all agree that diversity of perspective, ideas, information, and experience is essential for innovation to flourish. Technology facilitates the foundation to maximize potential while eliminating stigma associated with the difference with what we historically perceive as a barrier to success. Diversity is a competitive advantage. It advances the innovation process. We know that from diverse talent comes multidimensional ideas. Diverse ideas, experiences, and perspectives are the foundation of successful innovation at Dolphin. At Dolphin, we encourage this. We encourage innovation and collaboration so that we can all benefit from the value of all of our members. We can benefit from their skills and from their abilities. Innovating an inclusive strategy has resulted in an effective and efficient business model. We've had an 80% reduction in travel time utilizing our remote services. Our virtual office is paperless, and we function on a model that we can be doing what our clients need from anywhere at any time. I would like to point out the picture in the corner here. This is actually a wheelchair. For many of us, perception is everything. If our perspective is limited, we cannot think outside the box. I would challenge you that the person who created this model realized that someone sitting at a half-height level misses out the opportunity of seeing what goes on that many of us see in our everyday. Why would we not think that they would want to be elevated at some point? Why would we not think that they would want access to everything that we have access to? This is one example of thinking about meeting the needs, not only of your clients and your staff, but the opportunities in the market share. The private sector must play a vital role in regarding the employment of people with disabilities. By removing attitudinal barriers and making the workplace accessible, employees can greatly contribute to a society where persons with disabilities can participate in work and have increased independence. It is imperative that we receive the best from everyone. Anyone in a position of having a disability must have the same experience as anyone else. They must have the same customer experience, they must have the same client experience, and they must be able to have the opportunity to live life to their fullest potential. Recently, ITU and UNESCO and other partners produced the ICT Opportunity for Disability Inclusive Development Framework. In it, they identified that by mobilizing information and communication technologies, it's possible to facilitate the transition to an energy-efficient, low-carbon economy. This framework also lists challenges that need to be addressed, barriers that exist and require collaboration from all stakeholders in every sector. I believe it is business who can lead this, but they very clearly state that there are other components of that equation in order for it to be successful. There must be business, yes, but our world leaders must also have a continuation and implementation of standards and opportunities to set measurable tactics that we can see results from in order to achieve something that we will all benefit from. All organizations, civil society, institutions, government, and business have a key role in guiding policy and worldwide standards. If only 10% of those people were hired, the amount of money saved would pay for the other 90% of participants in that government program. That is a huge cost to us that can be reduced by even a small percentage of businesses realizing the full potential of employing people with disabilities. Dolphin utilizes technology to enable. We design solutions to help users function as they need and even as they want. We empower users rather than restrict them. Dolphin enables barrier-free employment. We believe in the potential of all, and therefore we offer opportunities to everyone, including people with disabilities. We have proven that technology facilitates a level playing field. We hire abilities, and you can too. It is great business. Business can evoke change. It is time to evolve to the next level of business. It's your opportunity to change. Identify your opportunity to be unique in your space, evoke change, make an impact, and let it be part of your brand.
Merci pour ces interventions.